Every journey has a beginning.
So in this video, we're going to take a look at what's going on in the DRC,
exposing the truth,
explaining the crisis and its key players, its significance, and more.
Long after the European powers agreed to abolish slavery, one man in Europe still held out.
He found a society that was in the middle of one of the richest places God ever created.
Wakanda. So the rumors are true.
The man known to history as King Leopold II of Belgium.
And the worst adjectives in a dictionary wouldn't be sufficient to describe who he was and what he did.
Who established a record of unimaginable cruelty that still reverberates throughout Africa to this day.
And this man right here, this devil, this demon, this antichrist,
unworthy king.
He ordered his men to enslave the Congolese people.
The Western powers of the world came together.
Power of other countries like England, France, Germany, and the United States
decided to carve out the continent of Africa for themselves.
Y'all sitting up here comfortable.
And they carved up Africa like a cake.
Must feel good.
It became known as the Scramble for Africa.
It created immense wealth for Europeans, while having a catastrophic impact on the native population.
Where violence, torture, and even murder were the price of profit.
If you didn't produce what they felt you should have produced for free, they cut hands off, brothers and sisters.
In the video today, we're looking at what might just be the biggest cover-up in European history.
And when we talk about genocide,
people often reflect upon Nazi Germany.
All we hear about is what happened to the European Jews in Germany.
And it is not sad.
The amount of people that this white supremacist killed in the Congo.
Twice the number of those who were killed in the Holocaust.
This man killed millions.
No less than 13 million Congolese.
Some say even more.
Somewhere between 70 to 90% of the total population.
This devil.
Leopold II created a human zoo, putting Congolese people on display like animals.
Please read up on King Leopold II.
Over time, King Leopold's men managed to enslave the entire population.
You know, we don't talk about Congo as we should.
This was the greatest crime that has ever been committed in the history of the world.
Means it deserves far more attention than the rest of the world currently gives it.
Because it was, without question, a genocide.
Their blood is on your hands.
What was the Congo?
The Democratic Republic of the Congo is extraordinarily rich in natural resources.
They found far more profitable resources than just rubber. There were diamonds, gold, and ivory.
How could God, in his divine wisdom, put so many things in a single place?
And the fact that the device you're watching this on may well be powered by Congolese materials.
It was essentially like stumbling across a gold mine.
When the enslaver came, it all looked very innocent.
How?
In history classes, each generation is taught that he was a humanitarian who brought Christianity and the wonders of civilization to the Congo.
A man who stole your vibranium and murdered your people.
The Congo Free State was anything but free.
And when they colonized Africa,
he wanted to convert and civilize those poor, godless souls.
But didn't life start right here on this continent?
They made you a slave in your own home.
Leopold began to grow his own private army in the Congo.
You gotta be part of the system. Why wear the uniform of your own oppressors?
These men, they became desensitized.
You must divide them.
Fight for them, die for them.
Because they were actually proud of their brutality. Today, the memory of his reign still lives on.
With fists of iron, clothed in velvet.
Each of the governor generals had their own tactic to achieve this.
Because disorganization allows for exploitation.
It has helped spark anti-Western protests in the DRC.
You could burn it down.
Things like tin, gold, and coltan play a key role in the conflicts that continue to afflict the region.
Your father told the UN that Claw stole all the vibranium you had
because of the dangerous potential of you.
During the Second World War, uranium from the Belgian Congo was used by the United States.
Show them the true might of the U.S. military.
Your weapons.
To build the world's first atomic bomb.
And it is my responsibility to make sure our weapons will not be used to wage war on the world.
And that is going on as I speak.
A resurgence of violence in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo is the latest event in a long-running series of conflicts.
We know what you whisper in your halls of leadership and in your military facilities.
European powers continue to exploit that place.
The vibranium does not fall into the hands of a person like you.
Reject his request.
With you, I thought it'd be different.
The failure of the more than 2-decade-long UN peacekeeping mission has also contributed to the anger.
But it's more of this here.
Do you believe the word of an arms dealer?
The conflict in the region has had dire humanitarian consequences.
So ain't all people your people?
There is a saying, all that glitters is not gold.
In the age of the internet, it has become much more difficult to ignore the reality of what happens.
Now more than ever,
We have lost and continue to lose our resources because
the illusions of the vision threaten our very existence.
And we only realize it too late.
Following a request from the Congolese government, the UN mission will leave the country.
For all my brothers and sisters who suffered through oppression while you just sat back and watched.
But change one step along the way, and you could end up at a very different destination.
It's time.
Wakanda will no longer watch from the shadows.
There's no time to rest.
Can't clean up the world without getting your hands dirty.
War is here.
It's our duty to discover that.
This is your last chance.
The time is now.
To protect our resources.
The cure is power.
Heroes are not born. They're forged in darkness.
Wakanda forever!
Most of you know the story.
Defined by sacrifice.
Read up on the colonization of the Congo.
As do the ones they inspire to carry on the fight.
Help me understand. Why, as a black man,
it's about 2 billion people all over the world that looks like us.
I need to be supporting the Ukrainians, but I don't hear nothing about supporting the Congolese.
We're not fighting the same battles.
Well, guess what? If wrong is wrong,
speak.
Why you ain't got the same energy for the
Congo, the continuation of slavery and suffering,
which has created one of the most complex and longest humanitarian crises in the world.
We have paid dearly for it.
With the eyes of the world largely focused on other conflicts like those in Gaza and Ukraine, the DRC receives relatively little attention.
We
must find a way to look after one another as if we were one single tribe.
It's beautiful.